It's the Smucker's Uncrustables podcast with your host, Uncrustables.
Okay, today's guest is rough around the edges. Please welcome Crust.
Thanks for having me.
Today's topic, he's round with soft pillowy bread.
Hey.
Filled with delicious PB&J.
Are you talking about yourself?
And you can take him anywhere.
Why'd you invite?
And we are out of time.
Are you really cutting me off?
Uncrustables are the best part of the sandwich. Sorry, Crust.
No one has the balls to stand up like I'm doing right now. Stop the crap already. We're all Americans. We're all equal. I don't see black. I don't see Asian. I don't see anything but American. Welcome to Bo Dietl's One Tough Podcast. Well, I'm a little down this morning. We got kind of wiped out here in New York. We won 4 congressional seats on Long Island. That was some surprises. They run a great show on Long Island there. And with the help of Peter King and Caro out there and everybody in Nassau, Suffolk County, congratulations to winning those 4 congressional seats. That was so important. Other than that, it was a complete disaster. It was a complete disaster for Lee Zeldin. And no one wants to admit what I'm going to say right now. And I'll say it. I go back with Donald Trump over 40 years. I know him very well. I've caught him in many lies where he lied to my face many times. I swept it under the rug feeling as though he was doing great things. And then when I really locked horns with Donald Trump was when I was at a party it was a fundraiser at Steve Ross's house on Long Island. You had all the billionaires. You had Lindsey Graham, senator there, and you had Steve Witkoff, Ross Roth, all the rich people were there, and Donald was there. One thing he did, he gave me credit for something I told him about when he was running for president, was for the veterans. And I said, you know, Donald, if you ever become the president, what you should do is you should support our veterans. When the veterans are trying to get doctor's appointments, when they go to the VA administration, they get treated like crap. Sit over there. We don't have any appointments for 3-4 months. I said, why don't you push for a veteran's choice? And a veteran's choice meant that whenever they had to go for PTSD, if they had problems mentally or if they had problems physically, they could go anywhere and send the bill to the Veterans Administration. That came about. He actually gave me credit in front of all these people for pushing him to do that. I thanked him for that. Then I walked him outside and I said, you know, Mr. President, I says, I think maybe you should come out and say you were wrong. You were wrong with calling Senator McCain a loser because he got captured by the North Vietnamese and the Red Chinese over there. And I said he was beaten for 6 or 7 years. They broke his arms. He could have left sooner. His dad was an admiral in the United States Navy. They were going to release him sooner, but he said, I will not leave unless my men go with me. But you know what President Donald Trump said to me? Bo, who am I? I said, you should come out and you should say that you were wrong. Bo, who am I? I said, you're the president. He goes, that's why I'm the president, because I do what I want to do. After that, I lost all feelings for him because you know what, Donald? Where were you during the Vietnam War? Where were you? You went to a private school. You had a silver spoon in your mouth. And you know what? How dare you talk against any of our veterans who give up their lives and fight for our freedoms that we have? This was horrible, what you said. That turned me off completely. And again, over the years, so many times when he made a statement to me about some of the security work I was doing for him, and he lied to me, and he totally switched the truth around. And then I have friends. I have friends who are in the construction business that he screwed over. And then here's a big one, and I'll say it right now. Mel Weiss is dead now, Donald. Donald, no Mr. President, you're Donald. You actually took pictures of him in compromising pictures, and you blackmailed him to drop a case against a class action suit against your 3 casinos in New Jersey. I was in your office when you showed me the pictures, and then you made him drop a suit against you. You're not a good person, Donald, and the people of America should know, and you should drop out already and let a man like DeSantis, an American from the military, American that took a state and was able to deliver this election, Miami-Dade County, mostly Democrats, heavy Democrats, turned it around. Why? Why was he able to turn it around? Because he appealed to people. He was not a condescending, narcissist scumbag like you, Donald. You're a narcissist, and nobody has the balls to tell you. I'll tell you to your face. And I'm not a member of Mar-a-Lago, and I'm not going to play on your golf courses, so you can ban me from your golf courses. I don't really give a damn. Donald, you got to realize one thing. You had a shot. You had great policies. Oh, I support you 1,000,000% on your policies. You made America feel strong. Yes, you did. You made our military feel strong. You believed in what we want in this country, but then you went over the top. And by going over the top, these certain Democrats who are out there, including Republicans, friends of yours, that don't want to have anything to do with you because of what you're doing. You're destroying any kind of uniformity. We need someone to bring us together like Biden was supposed to do, but he's a complete idiot. But Donald, you're a smart guy. You got to understand something. You can't be a narcissist, condescending, chop people up. Oh, you got your Kool-Aid drinking friends. Oh, go, Donald, Donald, Donald. Yeah, you have your core people, but that's not what's going to win this next presidential race. Right now, we have to get a candidate that's going to appeal to Democrats, Republicans, independents across this country, someone who is not going to alienate other people against each other, someone who's going to bring us together. And your ways ain't the right ways, Donald. Lee Zeldin should have won this election. If he didn't cuddle up with you and people knowing that he was so supportive of you, people that would have voted for the problems that we have in the state with the crime, the inflation, and with our borders, people would have voted for Lee Zeldin. How about in Pennsylvania with Dr. Oz? Smart guy, a friend of mine, but you had to go over there and screw that whole campaign up because you know who beat him? A guy that looks like Frankenstein. This fool doesn't even know who he is, and he was able to beat an intelligent heart surgeon who had a real brain and knew what we needed in this country. But no, because you alienated any and all votes that we would have gotten from the Democratic Party. We know one thing. New York City will never, ever be won by a Republican. And my friend Greg Kelly wants to run for mayor. Don't waste your money. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your energy. New York City will never be won by a Republican. I was watching those returns come in with all these assembly districts in New York City, 11,000 votes to 800 votes. I mean, it was like a crusade. And in New York City, what's the problem in New York City? The majority of the people in New York City are getting free stuff. The liberal Democrats, progressives, are giving out free stuff. And that stands. Why would you not want to vote for free stuff? You get free stuff, you're going to vote for it. This is what it's all about in New York City. New York City is in such a cesspool. That's why we have cops leaving, 4,000 this year. Soon we're not going to have a police department in New York City. I really feel as though New York City is in very, very dire straits after this election. Because at least if we had Lee Zeldin, who should have won this election, I have never, ever met a harder working guy than Lee Zeldin. His only problem, and it wasn't the abortion issue. I don't believe that was the whole issue. Although many Democrats, females, and that's what won this election for Hochul, are the female voters. The female, even Republican females, were against him with the abortion stand and all that. But the big thing was the dislike and hatred for one person, Donald Trump. And that's, nobody has the balls to tell you, Donald. I'll tell you as it is. And if you got a problem with it, I'll come down to Mar-a-Lago. I'll play golf with you. I'll explain to you. And maybe you can learn to be a little bit more sensitive, a little bit compassionate, a little bit of people can feel you. You've got great ideas. You had great policy, but your personality suck, Donald, and that's why you'll never win as president. Oh, you'll win the Republican nomination, by far, because you got all my friends, Kool-Aid drinking, Donald Trump loving people, yes, but that doesn't win the general election. We have to win a general election for president of this United States. And you know what? You could say what you want about DeSantis. He'd make a great candidate. All you do is look at what he did in the great state of Florida, what he did bringing people, Democrats, Republicans, everyone together, when he refused to close down businesses on the epidemic, when he refused to let people in our schools teach our children about turning into transvestites or whatever the hell they're going to turn into. And he was against it. He felt as though the parents are so important with children 5 and 6 years old. Look at when a child gets to a certain age and they really want to do this transformation, I don't think anybody should stop them. But you can't teach 5 and 6 year olds and then have that division with the CRT because you're white, you hate blacks. Enough already. And that was why people voted for DeSantis, and people like DeSantis because he speaks for the majority, not the ultra-left, not the ultra-right. He speaks for the majority of Americans, how we all feel. And this election coming up for President of the United States, we have to win because Donald Trump, if you win the nomination, they can run this vice president, Kamala Harris, this laughing fool. She'd beat you. Anybody would beat you, Donald. And then you know who's going to come out of the woodwork, Donald? Who's going to come galloping from behind is Obama's wife. She'll beat you, too. Anybody will beat you, Donald. Anybody. But if you have a real candidate, a real choice of a smart, intelligent candidate running, then we will have a shot at winning this presidency. And I really believe that the Republicans have to run moderate Republicans, no ultra-right idiots, no ultra-left idiots, moderate people that are palatable to everybody. And we just have to look as far as what we have right now in the United States of America. We have a president that is not clear really where he is. I mean, he walks around shaking hands with invisible people and all that. And then let's look at, I'm a businessman. And in business, when you put together a great team, that equals success in business. You put people in there to run in different operations of your business, and you make sure you have the best people around you. So if you decide you want to take off for a couple of weeks, you know you have people running your government. Now, let's just look at President Biden's cabinet. This is a band of fools. He's the main fool. Then he brings in Kamala Harris, this laughing fool who doesn't have a clue. She got put in charge of the border. She never even went down there. She don't even know what the hell she's talking about. She comes out of the woodwork, and all she does is sit there and wears her pantsuit and laughs at everybody. That's the first moron.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso and Samra Origins by the Weekend Coffee Collection.
Introducing Samra Origins. My collaboration with Nespresso is a connection to my roots, to my mother, Samra. Coffee that hits the right notes. It transports you. Crafted with unique notes and bold, soaring flavors. Experience a taste that moves you. Nespresso and Samra Origins.
Discover more at Nespresso.com.
Then we get Secretary of State Tony Blinken. Oh, yeah, he looked really good. When the Chinese were batting him down, they were hitting him with chopsticks, the Chinese, over there when he had that meeting in Alaska. And he looked like a damn fool being berated by the Chinese there. Oh, you did good, Tony. Go away already. You were a fool when you were an undersecretary of something. Now you're the Secretary of State, and you're a bigger fool. And then my friend, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin. Oh, yeah, you did really good, Lloyd. You know what, Lloyd? What you did to the people in Afghanistan is a disgrace. You advised this fool of a president to pull out overnight like that. Pull out overnight where we had Afghans that, these were Afghan people who were interpreters, people that saved American troops over in Afghanistan from being killed. And you know what you did? You left them high and dry. I had someone on my podcast, someone from the military that was over there in Afghanistan in the United States military. Also, he was over there as a civilian person over there with these people. He's getting emails. People, families are being murdered, massacred, raped, everything over in Afghanistan. We left them high and dry. We left $80 billion of our equipment over there. We gave up all the bases. A fool defense, Lloyd Austin, defense secretary. Wouldn't it have been a good idea if we kept that one base over there, that one base that we can monitor what's going on for the defense of our country, so we at least had some element in Afghanistan? And you know what? The Taliban wouldn't have done crap because we would have had the ability to crush them with air power at any time. So that was a complete screw up, Lloyd Austin. Now we go Homeland Security. Alejandro Mocoyotis, whatever the hell your name is, you're running for fool of the century. You're in charge of Homeland Security, and you don't have a clue. You say the border is under control. Under control, like I always say, we have about 10 million people who are non-documented in our country. And you know what's happening with those 10 million people that are here? They were supposed to go back after 90 days. You know what they're doing? They're taking jobs from Americans, from my black and my Latino Americans who are citizens here in America. They're taking the jobs, the illegal immigrants that are coming in. And you want to know somebody who should be pissed off? Are the black and Hispanic people that they can't get a job because you have illegal aliens, illegal immigrants in our country taking these jobs. That's the people who you're hurting. Okay? And then we go to Pete Buttigieg. Oh, he's a real winner. He was in charge of $14 budget over there in Indianapolis. He's the Secretary of Transportation. He doesn't even have a clue where he is. All he cares about is because he has a husband, a guy, he loves guys. God bless you, loving guys, but I don't care about that. I don't care if it's what their sexuality is. I'm talking about intelligent people that can run this country. And then Janet Yellen. Oh, what a fool she is. She doesn't have a clue. And then here comes my second best, Merrick Garland, the Attorney General. And I call upon it, and I just pray to the good Lord that we take Congress over, the House of Representatives. I pray to the good Lord that we're able to pull out the United States Senate. And then what I want is full investigations into the Department of Justice, into the FBI, why they're being used politically as their own little action committee. Now they're taking FBI agents off these sex offenders, sex deviants, and these people that are raping little children. And what they have them doing is seeing people who are demonstrating against CRT in schools. You're using the FBI for political gain. And then on top of it, the new one, IRS, that's the real good one. We're going to have 80,000 new IRS agents to investigate to see, how much did you make there? Oh, do you have receipts? No, I don't have any receipts. Well, we're not going to allow it. Well, what do you mean you're not going to allow it? I don't have receipts. Well, we're not going to allow it. You don't like it? And now they're going to give these fools guns and badges. IRS aid. How about we take the $80 billion and we track down these 10 million illegals that are in our country? Where are they? Who are they? That's what I would do, spending the money. But you know what? This is such a very down day for me. But, we look at this whole thing and we look at exactly what's going on right now. What's going on right now is that we're falling off our wheels. And the defeat of Lee Zeldin and also the defeat of Dr. Oz was attributed to all these candidates that my friend Donald Duck Trump, what you did. And you did really good with that Carrie Lake in Arizona and Blake Masters. You were the kiss of death. How you turned on a great senator from the state of Arizona. The people in Arizona hated you what you did. Hated what you did with that senator out there who was a true American here. And they don't forget. And they candidates lost by a slim majority there. But I'm going to tell you something. A lot of those people have a distaste for you, what you did to Senator McCain. And I have a distaste for you. And you never corrected it. Because you know what? Narcissists cannot say they were wrong. You can't say, I'm sorry. You can't feel compassion. You're a cold bastard. I don't know if I'm able to say bastard, but I said it. Okay. You're a cold son of a bitch. That's what you are. When you can't feel people who are hurting And if you can't be compassionate, you can't be a president. I want a president shows compassion, shows love, shows feelings towards people. And you know what? Your blood in your veins runs cold with garbage. That's it. And now we're talking about where we are today. And all of a sudden, my friend from West Virginia, that's a real Manchin, Senator Manchin. Hey, Senator Manchin, I know you listen to my podcast. That was a good move when you flipped on the Republicans and then you voted along with Biden for these fool bills spending trillions of dollars for the 80,000 IRS agents and all that. Hey, Manchin, did you hear President No-Brain the other day? He spoke up the other day. We're shutting down the coal minings. We're going to shut down coal. We're going to shut this down. Hey, what do you think about now, Senator Manchin? You seem like a fool, too. Why don't you vote again for what he wants? Because you know what's going to happen, Manchin? It's going to come back where we might be tied again in the Senate, maybe 50-50. And you know what, Senator Manchin? You can reclaim, because I really supported you and I felt great for you, what you were doing, fighting this nonsense. Maybe you could bring it back. When the next vote comes up, Manchin, and your vote can swing this thing, you can reprieve yourself and show that you don't believe in this fool of a President Biden right now, and you'll vote to make this country turn around and become better. Make ourselves to back energy until we can get the green. I'm a big green guy. I want my grandchildren to breathe fresh air and all that. We got real problems. I talk about it all the time. The Colorado River is drying up. Lake Powell, Lake Mead are down 20%. Soon there'll be no water for the state of California, the biggest produce area in our country. Soon there'll be no water to feed the people, to feed the plants. And when they ask to do desaltation plants on the Pacific Ocean, all these bird-loving, fish-loving people, oh no, the little squirmily fishes, you're going to kill the little... I'm not worried about fishes. I'm not worried about some birds. I'm worried about drinking water for our children, for our population. Greening is good, but you can't do it overnight. Immediately, we should start to become back the way we were, self-sufficient with our energy, start moving it over. Oh, battery cars are really good. We just had a couple of batteries blow up in New York, starting fires. And that battery, where do you think that stuff comes from? The material for that battery? Oh, it's a place called Afghanistan. Who controls Afghanistan? The Chinese. So right now, you want a battery car? Okay, you'll get a battery car. The only thing is, where are you going to put the plug up your ass? You can't get electricity if you can't produce electricity, you fools. We have to do it slowly. A 30, 40-year plan to become green. But you don't just flick the switch. And this is what everybody, oh, Bo, you're against green. No, I am not. I want to breathe fresh air. But any of my listeners, have you ever been to Beijing, China? I spent a week there. Every disgusting air. You got to walk around. Before the pandemic, people wouldn't walk around without a mask. Disgusting. India, Russia, everywhere. But no, we're the fools now. We're going to stop everything, including we're going to stop our own dependency on energy, because we're going to become green while everybody else is just filthy in the whole atmosphere. In reality, why aren't we pushing China? Why aren't we pushing India? Why aren't we pushing Russia to become green with us? Oh, my gosh. And you know what? I love my friend, my Elon Musk. I never met Elon Musk, but Elon, I think you listen to my podcast. I'd love to bring you up to Rayos to have dinner with me, Elon. And any friends of Elon, please extend that invitation to Elon Musk. I love this very, very, very much, where he told all these liberals in Twitter, hey, you're out of here. You're out of here. That's my man. That's my man. And again, my little bone to pick with my friend Lynch. You don't represent the PBA. When you gave $25,000 to Snaggletooth Hochul from my funds, well, I'm still a PBA member. Oh, no, right, I'm a DEA member. That's right, the DEA supported Hochul. You wouldn't come out and endorse Lee Zeldin. You gave Snaggletooth $25,000. You're a disgrace. You know, I know you a lot of years, Mr. Lynch. You're one of the best speakers I've ever heard. But this really dropped the ball. Why don't you show your balls, Pat, instead of being a little worm and knock Lee Zeldin and not support him and give him money? But that's another story again. I guess true worms show up. I'm a guy, even if a guy's down, I fight for the little guy, and I'll always be fighting for the little guy. I run a company, Bo Dietl and Associates, and it's under, you could Google it anytime. It's under investigations.com, investigations.com, or you can call me up, 212-557-3334. I'm sorry I'm a little raging this morning. This election really took my stomach out. And again, I'll say it again, I blame this loss. Instead of a red wave, we could see where the red wave was. The red wave would have been if Donald Trump would have stayed in Mar-a-Lago and kept his damn nose out of these elections. Because you lost these elections, Donald. Why aren't you going public now and accept what happened? No, you'll twist it around again. And people, please, we got to have one thing. We got to have a president that's going to bring us together. I don't want that fool with that pompadour in California, that moron there to run, or any other moron. I want someone who's a business person, who runs the government like a business. And remember, if you put fools around you in the business, your business is going to become a fool's business. So again, till next week, Bo Dietl signing off. Remember, send me some information. www.investigationswithans.com. Send me whatever you like, any questions or anything, and we'll look forward to being with you next week. Hey, Donald, I'm sorry if I called you names, but you want to know something? Suck it up. What you should do, Donald, play golf, retire, get out of politics, and endorse DeSantis as the next president of the United States, which will bring us all together and bring us back to the greatness we know. Make America great. Yeah, I agree with that slogan, but make America great with Ron DeSantis. That's not so alienated like you, Donald Trump. Go away. Everybody, have a great week. Bye.
Hello, folks. Larry Kudlow here. Pay attention, because China is leading the largest anti-American alliance since World War II. One that's already dumped U.S. bonds, grabbed 43 million acres of our farmland, and is plotting to dethrone the dollar. That's why IRA and 401k savers are protecting their savings with gold. Please go to freegoldguide.com/Kudlow or just call 800-621-3908 for your free gold guide on how to protect your wealth with gold 100% tax-free.